Hello, and thank you for starting my video on how to begin a plein air painting. This will make when you start your painting in class go much smoother, and hopefully you won't have as many questions and you will feel like you have a path to follow. To begin a plein air painting, the first thing you need to do is to find a spot to paint. Plein air is a fancy way of saying outside in real life painting. As you can see in the image on the screen, these artists have found a spot to paint. They have an easel set up, they have all of their materials and their canvas, and they even have a viewfinder. If you look at the artist closest to the camera, there is a white frame hanging on their easel. That is called a viewfinder. After you find a spot to paint, you are going to start with a sketch. The sketch is going to help cement in your brain where you are going to be painting from. Also helpful to take a picture of your view. That way you are always setting up in the exact same spot. I will be having you take a picture just in case there is a day with inclement weather and we need to just paint inside. But you'll start with a sketch. This helps you to look at the values within your view and also the colors. It's almost like a rough draft. Then we will head inside and grab all the materials that we need. This will probably be the next class time, but we will grab and prepare our paint palettes, grab our brushes, the water that we need, something to sit on, and then we will head back out to our spot and get ready to go. Now, once you are set up, eyes on where you want to paint, you will have your viewfinder, which I will show you how to use. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to start with another sketch. But this time you are on your canvas, and this is the base, the bottom layer of your artwork. You can sketch with paint. You can use usually we use like a burnt umber or brownish color, and you don't have tons of paint on your brush. It's very wispy. Or you can use a crayon. And what you're doing is you are going to be drawing out basically the outline of anything in your artwork. This gives you a chance to look at your proportions and make sure that before you start painting, you know where all of your objects are going to sit. So your trees or your bushes or fences, whatever it is you're painting, where does it belong on your canvas? And how big does it need to be or how small so that I can fit the rest of the view into the image. Then you'll begin with your paint, and you're going to start by adding mainly just like block colors of paint. So this one has a little more detail than we're going to start with, but we're going to go through and essentially we're going to fill in our drawing almost like a paint by number. We're just going to take the base solid colors that we see and fill in our artwork. Then, once we have filled in our artwork, and this is not a perfect example because they didn't fill in the entire thing, but we will, we are going to then be looking for where do we find shadows and dark values. And we'll be mixing up our paint and adding in our dark values. After that, we are going to progress up the value scale. So we will go then to our medium tone values and progress lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter until we reach our highlights, which would be your pure white or the lightest color that you see. And at that point, you are also then adding in details and trying to make your artwork to a point where you feel it is finished and you can present it. I know this is different because this is a glass of an alcoholic beverage and grapes, but we're going to use the same process when we're painting outside, when we're painting anything really. So once you complete all of that, you will end up with some type of landscape painting that hopefully you are proud of. That last step of adding in details usually will take the most time, but hopefully you are really satisfied with the result at the end.